Hello, hello, hello. I am Kalinda, and I am a certified reflexology therapist and licensed teacher with the Reflexology Association of Canada. And I'm able to teach foot reflexology, hand reflexology, ear reflexology, and I actually developed emotional reflexology. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how to become a certified reflexology therapist. So, the certification roadmap, the very first thing that you do to get started is you have to understand the theory of reflexology. Now, theory of reflexology is taught because you have to understand where reflexes are in the feet, and in order to be able to help clients get their bodies to go into what we call parasympathetic mode, you need to be able to understand some anatomy, and there's important things to focus on. So it all begins with theory. Once you get the theory of reflexology, then we make sure to test your knowledge with a written exam. Now, don't panic. I work with students all the time that haven't been in school for years, or people freak out over the anatomy and physiology. When I teach, I start off teaching in a really simple, easy format, and so that you can understand it in English. You can translate it into Latin at any time, but understanding the theory is important, and so we test your knowledge first, and then after you pass that written exam, you go into the practical training, and the practical training teaches you the method. I've got some pretty neat methods that I developed to help you understand imbalances in the body, and so that you are able to get the proper feedback from your client and train your thumbs what to look for. After you are done 20 sessions, I do a mandatory review just to make sure that you're on track, doing everything right, your form is good, and then we dive into the practical exam. So practical exam, you'll have 50 sessions completed, and then you are ready to be certified and to give you a transcript. After that, then we give you the option of becoming an RCRT. So when you submit your certificate and your transcripts to the Reflexology Association of Canada, you can challenge the board exam. Once you are an RCRT, the benefit with that is if you have clients that have reflexology covered under their benefits, they can get reimbursed, and you've got access to some extra perks and bonuses and community in order to keep things fun. So at the top here, you actually see these little Facebook posts, and inside all the students that I have trained have got access to a private Facebook group, and in there we celebrate the wins. So a little bit about me. Again, I am Kalinda, and I am a registered reflexology therapist and licensed teacher with the Reflexology Association of Canada. I managed to get 17 certifications. Why? Because in 2009, I was super sick. When I first found reflexology, I was working in the corporate world. I was super busy being busy, and I wasn't listening to my body. I was pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And when I was pushing, what had happened was I was breaking down too. So I wasn't eating the way that I needed to eat. I wasn't getting my proper rest. I was suffering with migraines, aches and pains. There was no answers. It was super frustrating. And I literally thought I was going to meet the maker in 2010. And then I had to start figuring out how the body works holistically, because I wasn't getting any answers any other way, and it was a super frustrating path and road to be on. So when I slowed down enough to be able to start paying attention to what my pain was trying to tell me, I was able to discover things that I didn't believe were possible. And I managed to regain my health in 2012. I transitioned out of the corporate world in 2018, and now I get to serve clients and really feel good. I would take 48 over 28 all day long, because at 28, I was sick. At 48, I feel better than I did in my 20s. And I am so grateful that reflexology found me. I wasn't looking for it. And it's actually kind of funny because I've actually trained students that were in the same situation as I was. They heard of reflexology, never had a treatment in their life, and they become certified. So it's super cool how when you hear about reflexology, or if reflexology has introduced itself to you, it's amazing the planet has and how it unfolds, and life becomes better than you can even imagine. So in 2016, 2017, and 2018, I was the recipient of Teacher of the Year from the Reflexology Association of Canada. And my name is on the awards, but it was really the students that made it happen. Their passion for learning, their ability to get clients results and figure things out. And I'm super proud of them for doing it. There was 5 things that we had to meet. Most students taught was maybe one of them, but it truly was an effort of all the students and our passion for reflexology. That was the reason that we got the reward. So when I first got into reflexology, obviously it was to regain my health, but the bonus with it was I was able to help others. I have always had part of me that has been driven to help people's lives become better. And when I was working in the corporate world, I was able to serve. I loved my clients. I loved what I did. I had a decent living. And I think a portion of it was one of the things that delayed me so long in transitioning out of that was I really did love what I did. But when you're able to actually help people feel better, there's something with that that just can't even be explained. It's something that money cannot buy. And I'm grateful that reflexology supports me. It maintains the lifestyle that I had in corporate. It's just that my cup overfills all the time because you get to watch miracles, right? So being able to understand how the body works together holistically and being able to work with the reflexes and so the body can regain normal function. There's nothing that I can do to explain it to you. It's something that has to be experienced. And it's really neat to be able to feel how the body shows where the imbalances are. Now, reflexology therapists, we do not diagnose. We don't treat for specific conditions. Foot reflexology therapists don't use tools, and obviously we don't prescribe. But when you are working on the feet, being able to feel the imbalances, it's super neat when you can feel it let go, and then a few days later the client feels better. It's super rewarding. So what is reflexology? For those that don't know, reflexology works with reflexes in the hands, feet, ears, or face that correspond with every part, gland, and organ of the body. It helps to increase circulation, and it takes you out of fight and flight, which is the sympathetic mode, and it puts you into the parasympathetic mode, which is rest and repair. Once you go into rest and repair, your body is able to relax and hopefully restore balance, right? So what does a reflexology session looks like? The bonus with reflexology is it's kind of like massage and acupuncture joined into one without the needles. So we use zones in reflexology, and we don't have to work specifically on the area that it has an imbalance. So if you have a shoulder pain, we're not going to work directly on your shoulder. We're going to work on the shoulder reflex in the foot, hand to your face, that correspond with that and get it to regain balance. And so all that we need you to do is it's just removing your socks, and the treatment takes about 45 minutes to 60 minutes. And if you were doing ear or facial reflexology, those are shorter sessions. Emotional reflexology is something that I developed. I'm able to do it on hands, feet, face, or ears, but usually I work on the feet, and it takes about 60 minutes. And so with imbalances in the body, there's usually 3 causes for any imbalance, and it leads back to stress, stress, or stress. You just have to figure out, is it emotional stress, physical stress, or nutritional stress? And when we work with the feet, when it is something that is physical or nutritional, usually the reflex releases within 15 seconds or less. If it's emotional, it holds on until you figure out what it is that you're not paying attention to. So it's really neat to be able to feel the emotional release, but it all begins with foot reflexology. So with foot reflexology, that is like the understanding. It helps us understand where the imbalances are in the body. Hand reflexology, if you close your fist, it's in the shape of your heart. And so it's more of a emotional thing. It's more of a connection thing. A lot of people think, okay, well, if I got a problem with my foot, I'm going to go get foot reflexology. Or if I've got a problem with my hand, I'm going to go get hand reflexology. That's not really the way it works. We can work with any part of the body from any one, feet, hands, ears, face, but understanding begins with foot. Hand, again, it's more supportive, it's more emotional, and ear, it makes things listen, because the reflexes are so close to the surface of the ear, and those reflexes are so close to the brain, it just seems to make things work faster. And of course, face works the same way, because all those reflexes are super close to the brain. So the prerequisites to becoming a reflexology therapist depends on the modality, but it all begins with a theory, which is what we call core reflexology. So with core reflexology, we are going to be diving into the history, we dive into zones, we dive into anatomy, body systems, where the reflexes are in the feet, key and additional reflexes for imbalances throughout the body, and how to build a practice. So core reflexology is mandatory for foot, and when I teach, I also make foot mandatory for hand or ear. If you are completely opposed to touching feet, some people just don't like feet, period, you can plead your case, and if it's extreme, I will teach hand or ear, but you still need core reflexology first. In order to take emotional reflexology, you absolutely need foot reflexology first. So the 5 general objectives of core reflexology are to learn the history, and that is figuring out how zone therapy was developed, and the who's and the what's of reflexology. Then we dive into anatomy and physiology. That helps us understand how the body works. Then we go into each specific body systems, and each of the body systems, we have to figure out where those reflexes are in the feet, how they correspond, and the purpose of each, right? What their job is. Of course, we're going to teach you how to build your reflexology practice, and we get you prepared for the exam. Now, this is adult learning, and so without adult learning, you have got a ton of support on the inside and help in order to help you be successful. The mission is to be able to help you help clients, right? So in the core training, again, it's history, the zones. I teach a treatment plan, and so you are understanding how to really pay attention to to the client's health record, and that treatment plan is going to help you train your thumbs faster on what to feel for and how to figure out imbalances in the body. The body systems, key areas for emphasis, and business building. Once you are done that training, you study and you do a written exam. You have to pass the exam with 80%, which isn't a problem with the support that you get, and that would give you a core certificate. Now, in order to become a foot reflexology therapist, after you're done the core training, which usually takes about 35 in-class hours or studying hours, then what happens is you do that written exam. Then you're going to move on to work on 50 practical sessions. After 20 sessions, you are going to do a mandatory review. That's to make sure that you're doing everything right, that you've got the right form. And then after you finish the remainder 30 sessions, so you're going to have 50 practical sessions in total, you're going to challenge the practical exam. The practical exam, again, you need 80%. Once you pass that with 80%, you get your transcript and your certificate. So again, the 50 practical sessions, we want to make sure that you're seeing progress with reflexology. So we narrow that down to 5 clients or 10 clients, 5 clients with 10 sessions or 10 clients with 5 sessions. And you're going to track the progress in a treatment plan. After 20 sessions are completed, you do a mandatory review. Once you are done with mandatory review and you are clear that you're doing everything correctly, you continue on with the remainder of the sessions, and then you are ready for your practical exam. Once you pass your practical exam with 80%, then you get your practical certificate with your transcripts. So when I teach, there is a membership site. It's an online membership site. It's filled with every step that you need to complete. Every module is broken down with training, with worksheets, with quizzes, and you are crystal clear on what you need to understand in each module. So you never have to worry about falling behind. You always have the support. Obviously, you have a manual and a workbook that you're going to be working through as well. And included in the training, you get the manual, which has a $75 value, the workbook, which is a $25 value, the sequence chart, which is a $10 value, the foot reflexology chart, which is another $10 value, access to this membership site that is continually being updated, so you never have to worry about not having the most current update. Access to that membership site is usually $2,000. Access to the Foot Reflexology Student Facebook group, where we have monthly wine and Zooms now in order to be able to connect with other students and therapists throughout the province. We celebrate all the wins in there. If there is any information that is important that you need to know, that is where I post it. And so you can ask questions, you can get feedback, you can share wins, anything to help support you. We do within a closed Facebook community. Your written exam fee is included with the training. The mandatory review, that fee is included in the training, and the practical exam fee, it's included, your certificate and your transcripts. So everything is all bundled in one place. And so if you click, you get all the details on what you need in order to be able to get started. You have everything that you need to be fully supported and successful in becoming a certified reflexology therapist. So what I have done is I have bundled everything together. I've trained over 150 students, and now you are able to become certified online. The only parts that are live online are your exams, the mandatory review. And so all the other training you can do at your own pace, which is super exciting. Now, the course, to take the course and be fully certified is usually $2,000. But what I'm doing is I am offering a $500 scholarship so you can become certified, work at your own pace, and get your certification while saving an extra bonus. You still get all the perks. So if that is something that you are interested in, by all means, you can apply for a scholarship below, and I'll be excited to share my passion with reflexology with you, like I have for my other students. And there is nothing cooler than being able to get these messages. I get emails and messages all the time from students and from my reflexology clients sharing how their lives have improved because their health has improved, or um, they're just able to see life in a different light. And if I could share anything, I'd share that. But I can't do that unless you're trained, because it is not something, it's not something that can be bought. It is something that once you are able to figure out how it's done, you're able to share it, and it's a gift beyond anything I can even explain. So if you are looking to become a reflexology therapist, more details are on my website at www.clinitriffer.com. And you can always email me at reflexology@clinitriffer.com. There's a button below if you're looking for that scholarship, and it's the easiest way to get started. Bye for now.